Hello, guys. So I'm gonna be giving my discussion response for discussion post 8 on the Holocaust. And so when reading about this, everyone is pretty much familiar with the understanding of what happened in the Holocaust during World War II, um, and, and most of us, whenever we, for example, listen to Holocaust survivor stories and understand their point of view of, for example, what we read about their assimilation process when coming to the United States or when fleeing away from what was going on in Europe at that time. Most of us, we either feel like um, very but compelled, and also learning learning from their story in terms of understanding understanding his the history, so that it won't happen again. And that's the point of being a historian too, uh to always review the past so that it won't happen again in the present or in the future, I'm sorry. And even when reading and watching these sources that were given, it brought me back to when I was the time where I went to the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. I actually got the chance to go to both Holocaust museums, the one in LA and Washington, D.C. But the one in Washington, D.C. Definitely impacted me, because there was like live videos of atrocities that were occurring, and I did cried, even especially when I saw like a graph of sort of like a graph, not a graph, but like a model of um, of what were the gas chambers and stuff like that, and it was very sad. I actually cried. Like I said, I cried in that. And not only that, but when listening to the story and listening to their stories, and especially the video, and not only that, brought me back to like what my experience was at the Holocaust museums, but also there also the fact how listening to the story of how much they struggled, you know, and nobody has struggled that much. Nobody has ever struggled that much since in World War II, in terms of being feeling persecuted and stuff like that. Of course, it's very bad and very sad for a country or a region in Europe to do that to people, and that's why history is there so that we don't repeat, so that in the future we won't repeat it, you know. So this discussion, this one not discussion, this when reading the source and video, it brought me a lot of insight in terms of analyzing the Holocaust, but also got brought me review of always remembering the fact of what happened in the Holocaust. And it's always important to listen to these people's stories so that it won't happen again. So thank you.